What's going on, my aristocrats? Hope everyone is doing well today. Coming back at you with another one of these videos. And today, we're going to talk about insights. What do I mean by insights, you might ask? An insight, what I mean by that rather, is the more that you continue along your spiritual journey and the more that you continue to spiritually develop yourself, the more insights you will receive from the divine. The more insights God will give you and the more ideas you will get on how to further your self-improvement journey. So to give you a little bit of my story, 2025, not the best year for me, as some of you who've been watching my videos know. But what happened was towards the end of 2025, I began to get back into spirituality. I began all of my spiritual practices again, which I had neglected for about 2 or 3 years at that point. Journaling, meditation, daily prayer twice a day, all of the physical disciplines as well. And so once I began to hop back on that, especially with meditation, this was especially potent with meditation, when I began to hop back on the journey, I began to receive different ideas every single day with how I can continue to further that journey. So I would start meditation and then randomly throughout the day, sometimes I would receive these insights during meditation, but for the most part, it was randomly throughout the day that I would receive these random insights of, oh, you should do this. Oh, you should improve this. Oh, you should stop doing this. And once I began to implement these insights, and once I began to dig myself out of the mental hole that I've dug myself into for the past 2.5 years using these insights, I began to see their importance. And I began to see that it wasn't just an inkling of my own imagination, but rather that it was something coming from something more divine. And the more that I continued along this journey, and the more that I continued to raise my frequency and raise my connection to God, the more of these insights I began to have revealed to me. And the more powerful and the more potent these insights came to be. Because it was almost like a snowball effect. When I first got into the disciplines again, I first started getting some insights, and these insights were very helpful and very good. But the more I continued down this path, the more prolific and the more powerful these insights came to be, and the more of an effect they had once I had implemented them. So, for example, I was doing meditation and everything, and then randomly throughout the day, I get the insight of, hey, you should change your magnesium supplement because you're taking citrate right now, but glycinate's better for sleep. So let's do that. Or on a more spiritual note, because they come to me with both physical and spiritual things. And God will give you insights based upon whatever it is that you need at the time. The biggest one that I received, the absolute biggest ones, I'll say plural because there's two big ones, is first of all, the inkling of, hey, there's a lot of people who have done you wrong in the past, who you haven't forgiven, and you're still carrying energies from those incidents. Because whenever those incidents get brought up, you have a reaction to them and you have negative energy coming out of you over them and all that. So what you need to do is you need to forgive. You need to forgive anybody who's done you wrong in the past, and you need to let go of the energies that you're still holding on to from those instances. And that's one of the most prolific ones, and one of the ones that I actually received just today. That's the one that I received today. And I think that that is a very, very prolific step in a spiritual journey, because unforgiveness holds you back. But the second biggest one is that throughout 2025, I'm not sure if I had expressed this in any of my previous videos, but I was struggling with anhedonia and depression and things of that sort back in 2025, and low energy and all of that. And I was wondering the entire year, trying to figure out, where was this coming from? Where was this coming from? And it turned out to be multiple factors, because there were some mental blockages I had to clear out and some spiritual blockages. But the biggest insight that I received in that regard was, you are not sleeping enough. And sleep impacts all of your functions. And that's why when I came back to YouTube a couple of days ago, more than a couple of days ago at this point, but you get the point. The first video that I put out was about sleep, because it was revealed to me how important it is. And I still struggle with it. But the thing is that as I continue down the journey of improving my sleep, the more I learn how to fall asleep faster, how to get quality sleep, all the rest of it. Like one of the insights that I had revealed to me just a couple days ago when I was struggling with insomnia, which I had been for the past 3 days, the insight said, hey, if you're having trouble falling asleep, meditate before bed. Even though I had already done my meditation for the day, so that discipline was checked off for the day in my little checkbook, it said, meditate before bed, and it will help you sleep. And what's happened the past 2 nights? I meditated before bed when I was having bouts of insomnia, and I was able to fall asleep. I didn't get the 8 hours that I wanted, and I was still getting only the 5 or 6 hours that I had been getting throughout all of 2025, but from there, I'm slowly going to build up to getting that 8 hours. And that insight of meditating before bed, which might help some of you, by the way, but that insight is extremely powerful, because now I'm going to use that insight and springboard off of it and start meditating earlier so that I can get into sleep mode by 9:30, 10 o'clock. And once that comes around, then I'm going to be fast asleep. And when I wake up, if I wake up a little earlier than intended, at least then I'll be able to get myself back to sleep. So as you can see from the examples that I'm giving you guys, these insights have been very, very prolific in the development of my spiritual journey. And it's going to be very prolific in yours as well. So here's what you got to do. You got to do your spiritual disciplines every single day, like meditation and journaling and prayer and all the rest of it. You got to forgive, anybody who's done you wrong, anybody who's on your mind, and any kind of events from which you still hold negative energies towards. You got to let all that go. And once you stay consistent down the spiritual journey, doing both your physical and your spiritual disciplines, the results are going to show. Your frequency is going to raise, and when it does, you're going to be receiving a lot of light codes and downloads and insights like I was talking about. That said, that's going to be it for this one, guys. Hope y'all have a great day or a great night, depending on where you live. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.